Hey, welcome back to the Slots with Shawn podcast. My name is Shawn, and today I am joined by 411 Slots, Casey and Bob. Give yourself a quick introduction.
Hi, everyone. I'm Casey.
And I'm Bob. If you've listened to our show at all, that's how we close it. So,
And we're 411 Slots.
it was so funny. We were in the casino the other day, and somebody walked up to us and said something. She says, "I'm Casey," and I said, "I'm Bob." And the lady looked at us and goes, "That's the same as your closing on your shows."
It's all about the branding, right? You got to remain consistent. So for folks that don't know, I had the privilege of meeting 411 at the first ever Sloticon at Foxwoods Resort and Casino a couple of weeks ago down in Connecticut. And so my first question is going to be about Sloticon for you all, if you don't mind. What was your favorite part? I know I hate asking people their favorites because there's probably so many great moments. But your favorite part of Sloticon and any fun or memorable moments that you want to share?
Well, the best part was obviously meeting you.
Obviously.
Never being to Foxwood, actually never being to Connecticut. It was the first time we've ever been to a state that we had never been to together. So that was exciting, but Foxwood was beautiful. Beautiful. They were so kind, meeting everybody, the people and the other slot channels. It was a weekend we will never forget.
And Chris was amazing.
Yeah.
Vice President for Player Development, right? Yes, he was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah. They made us feel so welcome. And you know what is so cool is when a casino, like, not only lets you film, but is supporting us slot influencers on the level that they are.
I agree.
It was an interesting deal because we got a chance to see other players, slot channels, and how they were doing their business in terms of what they played, how they played, when they got off, when they stayed on. The conversations were enormous, and they were fruitful at many different levels.
I think my favorite part was us battling out on Whales of Cash.
Yes!
No, you stole my machine.
I don't know if it was theft or if it was ripe for the taking, but I remember going up to the VIP dinner and Bob was on like 46 free games and my friends and I were just like, we're going to leave him. We're going to leave you, Bob.
Yeah, I'm going to stay here because I'm not leaving 46 free games.
And I'm in the dinner by myself. Like, where's my husband?
He's out on the floor.
He's gambling.
Playing.
Well, to be fair, you were not by yourself. You came to our table and had a cocktail. So.
True.
Yes. So going back to Foxwoods really quickly, I am a Rhode Islander born and raised, and Foxwoods was always within 45 minutes to an hour for me and my family, and it was the largest resort and casino in the world for so long until they opened a casino in Dubai. And I remember going when I was first 18 to play high stakes bingo, and just it was massive. And I remember my Nana driving us. R.I.P. Love her. Nana driving us, and we turn the corner. I don't know which direction you come in, but when you turn one of the corners, you just see like this massive casino and resort out of nowhere in the sticks of Connecticut. And my Nana would always say, "I paid for that. That's my house. I paid for that." So.
Well, we don't know what it looked like coming in and going out because we came in the dark and went out in the dark.
But it was
Probably the best way to arrive.
And it was huge. But it is still the biggest in North America.
I heard Western Hemisphere, someone kept saying.
Yeah. That's a large geography.
You know what I found interesting too? Like, I had no idea. I mean, I know they had a mall, there were some things, but we saw people ice skating. They had all these things that I'm like, we're going to bring the kids there. I mean, I can bring them. I can do a little gambling. It's like, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it really was. What I found amusing about the whole thing and very impressive, coming out of my background for 40 plus years in an industry that doesn't parallel this at all, but it is an industry that has its own conventions, its own shows. This was the very first time that this took place, and they set that thing up like an outdoor sports show. Everybody had booths. It was amazing. And the traffic that came in there, thousands of people were standing there waiting to come in the door when all of us in our booths were feverishly trying to put the last final touches on what was going on. And when that door opened, it was a constant serpentine line going through that entire show. They didn't miss anybody.
No. No.
And you guys had prime real estate. You were right.
Yeah,
You
we're
were the
gonna have it
first
back,
booth.
We
too.
told them that's our spot every time.
Unlike my Wills machine, if you put your 2 cents in to try to take our spot, I will come after you.
That's a fair deal. I was around that first corner, and I think I was also still in a good spot because I was the first when you turn that corner, so everyone still had to engage and say hello. And then
Right.
obviously I had Mr. Handpay and Jackpot Beauty and New Jersey Slot Guy all in my row too, so the line took a while, so I got lots of good conversations in. So
What I thought was interesting is Casey and I were putting together the stuff we were giving away, the merchandise we were giving away. And we've got hundreds of them on the table. And I said, Casey, that's plenty. You're not going to need anywhere close to that. They vanished. They vanished in short order. I'm telling you, next year, there'll be more.
I really hope they do it again. I know they say they're going to. I haven't heard like a save the date go out or anything, but I want to be the first to know. Like I really hope they reach out to us and loop us in quick because I was one of the last onboarded. I think Ultra Hot Slots or one of those or Hypno Slots was after me, but I was the second to last added to the group.
We were
So
the
I had
third
no
to the
time
last.
You were third to last? Yeah, your name was right above mine.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
do remember that. It was serendipitous. We were meant to find each other.
I
Okay?
Meant to
know.
be,
It
meant
was
to be.
meant to be.
But I only had like 72 hours to turn around and like find my stuff to come on down because it was very quick
We were
turnaround.
the same way. Plus, we had to book flights out of Minnesota.
Yeah,
Was
and get a
Foxwoods?
sign and like all these little turtles. I was having my kids. They're like, "Mom, how many of these do I have to do?" I'm like, "Get to work." Just kidding. But we're sticking all these little turtles to these cards and just it was crazy, but we got it done.
Yeah, Casey ordered all the signage for the booth, and we didn't even see it until we got there because we had it shipped directly to the venue.
We're prepared now, though.
You know exactly what to expect. Although I do think with the number of people that came through, they may benefit from going to one of the larger ballrooms next year.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know for sure there's more tech options for the booths and things like that at the other locations. But
Yeah, and they might open it up to more slot channels too. I mean, this was the first, so those of us that participated, we should have somewhat of an in for the next one, and then it goes from there and just keep adding slot channels on. It's amazing how many people came through and said, I sit or I go to bed and I watch you guys at the end of the day. I go to sleep with you guys on my TV. It's amazing.
I got
how
one
they
of
do
those
that. Or I
too.
come home from work and I just want to relax and I turn on the channels and this is what I do. This is my entertainment.
And it's humbling because that's what we do. That's how we got our start. It was
Yeah.
watching every night. That's what we would do. I mean,
Yeah, we had kind of an interesting start, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
We, 3 years, almost 4 years ago now, we decided that we were going to try to do this. With my television background, I thought it'd be a cakewalk. We can put this together. Production-wise is not going to be an issue. We'll have a lot of fun with it. And then what hits? COVID. So now we backburnered the thing for 2.5 years, waiting for everybody to get back into some normality. And when it did, we had contacted the local casino that we play at all the time. And we said, can we come in and record? And they said, yeah, absolutely. They sent us a letter. We looked at the letter. Everything was good. We understand the protocol. We're going to save faces. We're not going to do that. No staff, what have you. Did all of that. And then we turned around. We went and shot 2 or 3 shows. And then the next time we were in there, they informed us we can't come back with our equipment. We can handhold, but we can't come back with our equipment. And I don't know if you handhold or not, or if you've ever done it. But when we handhold,
he uses a monopod too.
yeah, okay. So we couldn't use the monopod. So that being said, she got to push the button, do all the playing. Meanwhile, while I had to watch every frame and how we were set up and everything, it wasn't as much fun.
I mean, he's sitting there all focused, and he's like, Casey, I'm not enjoying this as much. Understandably so. And that's the whole point. We're having fun. We want to bring what we still want to have fun. We don't want to just, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
So we have to drive now a lot to other casinos when we have one 7 minutes down the road.
I feel your pain. I have one literally 7-8 minutes from me, and the closest one now that will let me record is actually Foxwoods.
Oh, really?
The
So
three
you got an
resorts
hour and a
here.
half too, huh?
Just about an hour and a half on a good good ride. But the Massachusetts Gaming Commission has pretty strict regulations for the resorts here, and while it's not illegal, like I can record, they have to ask me to stop. So I don't want to give anybody a hard time, and
Right.
if I am going to go, I'll go and record some content really late at night where there's no one else there. But yeah, it does kind of suck because
Yeah, it does. We find ourselves going down to Iowa where we play a Boyd property down there, and because we play the Boyd properties in Vegas, it makes sense because you get the benefits of it. So, and that really transpires
In Vegas.
in Vegas. That really transfers over to some benefits when you do get to Vegas. Oh yeah,
Bellagio. Don't tell
all
them.
you guys in your cups. Here, mine's black and just got coffee in it.
So yeah, I don't have anything else really fun behind me. You've seen everything else. Well, you can see the sign lit up now. That was at my booth, but I didn't have anywhere to hang it. And then, did you guys get anything? Did I give you bracelets or pins or stickers or anything? I gotta send
No,
you guys
you
some
shorted
stuff.
us. You just
I
took our
shorted you.
machine.
Yeah, I knew I could tell you were competition, and I'm not a friendly competitor. So, Bob, you've mentioned a few times now your background, and admittedly, before the call, Casey sent me your resume, and I have to say it's quite impressive. And so you mentioned a second ago how this would be relatively easy for you to transition to casino content creation. What were some of those initial challenges? You mentioned the pandemic. What were some of the initial challenges for you all in navigating this? Like, how is this similar and different to those days?
Well, this is much simpler than what we did. We were shooting multi-camera in the outdoor world, shooting a fishing show called Simply Fishing. And we traveled the entire globe, primarily in North South America, Central America, all the way down to South America. We did some Europe, but mostly staying on this continent. That being said, we hauled around big broadcast cameras and all the stuff that it takes to do what we had to do. Nowadays, it's basically a very lightweight recording device, a very insured microphone system, which, let's face it, they're a dime a dozen. When we had our wireless mics in the old days, we paid $10,000 a microphone per microphone. And so nowadays, you can put this stuff together. The biggest, I think, the problem we ran into is not being able to shoot with the steadying device, the monopod. After that, it's straightforward. It's going to the editor, and putting it together.
And taking all the music out.
Yeah, being able to handle all the back end stuff for copyright protection, which I do easily. I mean, it's not a big deal. But if you don't do it, man, I'll tell you, they'll ding you right away. I can't believe how they can pick up 2 or 3 bars of a song and you're copyright fraud. Really?
And now instead of having a cameraman, you're the cameraman.
Yeah, instead of having 2 shooters or a shooter with me, with the cameras focused on everything we're doing all day long, and I'm talking about 12, 14 hours a day. Now we go in and we shoot for 4 or 5 hours, 3 or 4 hours, whatever the case may be, in a casino, and I do all the grunt work.
I will say YouTube is very quick to pick up unlicensed sounds and everything else, and will flag it, and you'll upload it just fine. It'll go through the copyright check, and then a week later you'll get a notification that says we've removed the audio from your video. Like, not helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and instantly I've got a complete library for so many years of doing what we did, and not only our work but other work. We did a lot of post-production work for other people. I have a complete Gene Michaels library of music. I mean, I've got thousands and thousands of pieces, and it's licensed. We own it. And every time we put a show up, we have to send him a request. Please remove the copyright.
How would you
infringement.
like to be those guys?
Yeah, I mean,
Every video?
and of course he's sympathetic to it. He knows we own it, and he just simply does it, sends me an email and says, "You're good to go." And then we get a message back from YouTube says, "You're good to go." So it is
I wonder if
crazy.
there's a way for you to get ahead of that and like send them all of the agreements ahead of time so they don't flag them in the future.
Yeah, because I asked myself, is there any way we can do a blanket policy, that says we're using this particular cut. That's our opening cut. We're using it. We've purchased it. We own the rights to it for distribution. And is there any way? And he keeps saying no. There's not. It'll come back every time, and he just has to, to push it off.
If anybody knows out there, if you can get a blanket, let me know.
I'll put your email at the video.
Thank you.
One of the biggest things that we ran into is noise, just overall noise in the casino. That has been a little bit of a headache.
I know a lot of creators just take all the sound out, especially for like Instagram or TikTok, and just upload one of the like pre-packaged songs that they license
I've
music
done that,
essentially
but
through those apps.
yeah, I've done that, but I don't think it doesn't get as many views. People don't love it. They
No.
want to hear the ding, 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 and the
Yeah.
coin showers.
They want to hear the machine you're playing. They want to hear
Yes.
the noise triggering the bonus. They want to hear all that
Yep.
stuff. So I'm with you. Let's figure this out. We'll start a GoFundMe to figure it out, and then a
Yes.
change.org petition.
Coming to our account or yours?
Something that I feel like you've notably left out are some of your world records, Bob. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Casey says I don't talk about that enough. I've got 13 world records, and I was inducted into the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame back in 2009. And it was a real privilege to be inducted into that society, because it's by your peers. It's not something that you just, you cast a ballot and what have you. Your peers have to nominate you, and then you have to be elected onto the hall by your peers. So it was nice. It was very rewarding. And I've sat in seminars over the years. I've sat 1,000, 2,000 people in seminars. I mean, it's crazy how big the industry used to be. It's not the same anymore. The internet has really kind of slashed into that. Sports shows, like we're on our way out of here in less than 2 weeks to Ohio. We'll be in Columbus, Ohio, for the National Fishing Expo, and we'll have our big setup there. We have it tows at 24 feet, opens to 40 feet on site. So, and it's huge. I mean, it's got 7 75-inch monitors on it. It's got four 50-inch monitors on it. It's got 48 on it. I mean, it's huge.
If only we could have pulled that into Sloticon.
We actually talked to him about bringing that out there possibly.
Seriously, we could all be playing our channels on there.
Well, we could be doing
We have a
live stuff like we're
stage.
doing right now.
We have a stage. I can be on there singing and dancing.
Oh, my Lord.
I'll
Don't
join you.
listen to her
I'll
singing.
sing along with you, but
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Sean.
But that is what we've done over the years, and I appreciate you bringing it up, because Casey says I don't bring it up enough. So
Well, he doesn't. He's so humble about the whole thing, and he's so kind about it. I mean, here's to put it into perspective. Like, people spend a lifetime to get a muskie over 50 inches. Okay,
50 inches a personal benchmark.
I'm not going to bore you with showing you all of his fish on the wall, but he has caught 119 over 50. I mean, and muskies are just huge, and he has never killed a fish.
No, we don't kill him. We
He
put
doesn't
all
kill him.
back.
He's all about catch and release. So that's Bob.
Yeah.
That's our Bob.
But I'll be honest with you, at my age, I couldn't do what I did 20 years ago.
No, it's pulling in a small child. I did it on the boat. I'm just like, seriously. I'm like, this. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, I got this. I'm strong enough. I'm going to outfish this big fisherman, right? I'm laying on the boat, and I'm just like, it's hard work. I'm like, these lures are seriously like that,
In years past, I've had many people come off airplanes and stuff, get in the Suburban or the Armada, whatever we're sponsored with at the time, and drive to a site where we're going to shoot a show, and they'll inadvertently, within the first few minutes, say, "Man, I'd love to do what you do for a living." Yeah, okay, fine. After a day and a half, they're going, "How in the heck can you do this?" They're up at 4 o'clock in the morning. They're down at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and we don't stop. We just don't do it. It's a crazy world, but we've moved on now, and we're spending money like we have it.
And we work.
Yes, we do.
And we
I was
have
going to ask if you're both still working, still employed, or if you're enjoying some time off.
I actually retired, and then I had an opportunity to take a part-time job just kind of for fun. So I'm doing that, but I'm not working in a career position.
I work
The dream.
full time Monday through Friday. We have 2 kids. You have 2 stepdaughters.
2 stepdaughters,
12
4
and-
grandkids. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a large expanded family.
Everyone can, pick up a camera and help you with content then. So
Oh yeah.
There's
I'll
a
have
multi-
multi-angle, multi-camera shot.
My one daughter is going to be an accountant, which is going to be a huge help
Yeah.
with other things too. But like my youngest one, I'll be like, hey, come check this out. How is this? I'm going to put this on YouTube, like a short or something. And she'll say, really, Mom? No, it's way too long. Or add this, add that. And I'll do it. And it'll do good. So it's nice to get their perspective on things.
Yeah, you can tell she wants to be an accountant because she never fails putting her 2 cents in.
No.
Yeah. I love the jokes. I love the jokes. I still feel like I have another 30 years ahead of me before I'm at the part where you guys are enjoying, I'm only currently in my mid 30s. Unless I hit, $1 million Dragon Link, I'm not going to be changing that anytime soon. So,
Yeah.
Well, we aspire to make enough money that we can afford to do this because it's, it's not uncommon to go in with $1,000 and spend it a night.
No, we are real people. Bob has achieved a lot in his life, but we are real people with kids, working. I mean, it's the real life. We set our limits, we play responsibly because we have been that person that has put a lot of money in a machine thinking that machine now owes us something back. Like it's a friend or something. No, they are not. Walk away. So we've set these limits for ourselves so we can continue to go back and enjoy ourselves. And we found it really works what we're doing. So
Yeah, we
you
play
have to.
generally between $1.50 to say probably $5 on the upper end of a regular day.
or
But-
15 the other day.
Yeah, we went out to dinner the other night and we didn't take any recording equipment with us, none whatsoever. We're going to go have prime rib dinner at our local casino. We did that. We come out of there. We had $60 in our pocket, and Casey says, "We want to go play the floor for a while?" I said, "Yeah, we go play for a while." 60 cents, $60 are going to last what, 20 minutes, and we're out of here. Well, it didn't. We walked out of there that night with over $5,000 of their money.
Two hand pays. That
hand
never
pays.
happened to me ever.
Yeah, it never happens. And the thing is, you can't chase it to happen again because you'll spend twice what you just won.
Right.
But we were in high stakes, and we were playing a game I don't have a lot of trust in, if you will, huff and more puff. I think it's a very volatile game.
Yeah.
And Casey says, "Let's try it." And she was going to the center machine, and I said, "Casey, I watched a guy the other day playing $15 a drop on this machine. The first one hit for $4,000." And she says, "Okay." So we put $100 in, and that was it. We're going to walk out of high stakes and go play out on the floor. I think she hit the button 4 times, and we hit for 3,100 and change.
I was freaking out. I mean, I've won big before. I mean, I've had a $10,000. I've hit 9,500. So I've had some big wins in the last 5 years. Not on camera though, and so this one was pretty exciting, especially on Huff and More Puff to get the mansion feature. Never had that before, and then we got 9 mansions. What?
Have you ever heard of a game called Buffalo Caged?
It's
Or Caged Buffalo?
it's
Is it like a
Beast-
purpley
Beast
buffalo?
Uncaged.
What was that?
Beast Uncaged.
No.
We have it in our local casino, and it's one of those friendly games to us. I mean, it's kind of like
Our
let's go to it and have fun. Well, we went over after winning 3,100. We went over there, and we put $100 in and ended up cashing out $2,280 inside $100.
It was the craziest night. I swear there was a big horseshoe above the casino. Everybody, there was a handpay over there, handpay over there, handpays everywhere. And we got 2 of them. So that was nice.
Here was the smart move, though. She says, "I think we should keep playing." I says, "No, I think we're leaving. The money in our pocket and walk out."
Yeah. There's like a trigger almost mentally of like, I can't lose. I'm on this ride. And then you walk away with nothing. And you're like, ah.
You got to be careful. You do.
If I was just more like intelligent 30 minutes ago.
I know.
Or at least using common sense.
Exactly. So before we hit the record button, you guys were talking about some of your social platforms and the growth of those channels. I think you just hit 16 or 1700 on YouTube, so you're hoping to go live there soon.
Yeah.
What are your other channels that you're actively growing right now, and what are you hoping to create there?
Casey can take this. She handles all of that back end stuff. Truthfully.
So we have Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. TikTok, I was so excited to get enough followers. I went live and I got banned. I didn't realize you couldn't go live on TikTok doing a recording. And I'm like, okay, well, that was a waste.
It's
I'm
short-lived.
like,
Honor the days.
so tell me, TikTok, sorry, why I can upload a video of my game, but I can't go live. Anyways, let's just leave it at that. So, so then I started to focus on Facebook. Now, Instagram, I've started only to hold it, but I have to start adding more to that. And we have a website, 411slots.com, and we have shirts on there. We have some of our videos. We have a membership where it's free, Club 411 Slots, which we might rename it one of these days, but we might. He doesn't like me to change things.
Don't change.
I think there's a
Just
really cool
leave it
name
alone.
out there that's just wanting to be born, and it just hasn't.
I can add a poll when this
Right.
goes on to Spotify, and I can ask the audience for y'all.
Yes, I think we need to find a new. Yes, and so
Yeah.
it's free, and we send out newsletters, which are really fun. I think.
And after our exposure at Sloticon to you and other players there that we were able to talk to around the various tables during our get-togethers, we learned that Facebook is a valuable platform,
Yeah.
and we don't use it. Over on my fishing stuff, I got tens of thousands of people on my fishing stuff, but we don't use Facebook, so we're starting to load some of our stuff on Facebook.
I just learned this. I had a similar conversation with someone at Sloticon, and I was like, I don't really think that people are, migrating there that much for video footage. They're there for other stuff, their favorite stores or whatever. But I was just talking to the big jackpot Raja yesterday or 2 days ago. He's the next episode coming out this coming Monday, and he was saying he makes 7 times what he on Facebook to what he does on YouTube. He said
Really?
stop chasing YouTube. He said it's more lucrative for him to post the same He's going to post everywhere, but he's not chasing YouTube anymore. But it's way more lucrative for him over on Facebook, which I thought was really fascinating. I'm like, I think a ton of content creators would love to know that because
Yeah,
I had
seriously,
the
that is a
opposite view.
good. And that's what we were hearing at Sloticon too. And it's like, okay, now I got to start growing this platform and put. I'm like, Bob, are you able to get the videos off of whatever system you're doing
Yes,
and get them up
we-
on Facebook? So we're gonna start to do that because I think we have 147 followers on Facebook right now. So
On that, and I've been doing it 2 years. I have put no energy into it at all.
So we're telling everybody out there right now, go to 411 Slots on Facebook because we're going to have some new stuff coming.
But yeah, 2 of our biggest fans are our moms. They're so cute. We have a huge family support system, but our moms watch our channels, and my mom will call me, Casey, you didn't explain this machine very well. And I'm like, or Casey, you talk too fast on that one. But I really love how you do this or that. And what's that machine, that whale? I want to play it. Do they have it at this casino?
And coming up here very shortly, we're going to take my ma and we're going to put her on camera with Casey
In 2 days.
and let her play.
She's
2 days
the
on
cutest
Friday.
lady in the world.
Yeah.
Are you going to go live for that one?
No, we don't want to intimidate her. We'll just let her have her fun and
We
just go
need
from
to,
there.
yeah. And being live for the first time is going to be an adventure, and I want to focus on Winnie, his mom, not, learning something new, at the same time. So
Yeah, she's well into her 90s, so it'll be
God
fun
bless
for her.
yeah.
Some of my fondest memories are with my Nana at Foxwoods. So I totally get it. Like that's
Yeah.
going to be awesome for y'all. So we talked a lot about some behind the scenes of the content creation. Is there anything that you think your audience would be shocked to learn about the process, or something that maybe they're not thinking of when they're watching your video?
Well, one of the things, we don't make it public very often, but it's an expensive venture to get out and get that first 1,000. And of course, we were going after the YouTube audience, but that first 1,000 subscribers was expensive, and I'll tell you why. We had tens of thousands of people coming to our views. They're watching what we're doing, but very few of them subscribed. You couldn't get them to subscribe. So we started to lay in our, please subscribe at certain times and tried to take advantage of the upside of a victory or whatever the case may be, or a game. She would explain it well, and then we would put, please subscribe, meaning, we're going to teach you something. That's what 411 Slots is about, and then go from there. But we're finding out that
And I actually talked to a lady today via text message who went to Sloticon, and she was thinking of starting a channel. And I just said, I just kind of laid it out. Now, we put on shows every day. So I said, honestly, it takes about 2 hours per show. Editing, me doing the thumbnail, okay, getting it all up there. That's not including going to this casino, capturing the footage. So I really had to explain, like, it does take about 2 hours per show. So every night I have time dedicated to work on it. Every weekend, one day, it's an 8 to 10 hour day, And she's like, do you make a lot of money? And it's like,
no money.
no, but I won at the casino the other day, thankfully. So, it's fun and we make it, I think the videos you just think, oh, it's easy, just record it and put it up. But it's a lot more than.
And we're playing with disposable income. We're playing with money that we can afford to go play with. And that's one thing that people have to understand. If you're going to do this, be careful where you're getting your money from. If you're going to play $100, play $100. If you can play $500, then play $500. But don't play $500 because the guy sitting next to you is playing $500 and you can't afford it. Just drop your bet, have fun. Learn to have fun more than I'm going to win.
Right.
Because it is slanted in the casino's favor. They don't turn those lights on because they're losing. So that being said,
when we walk into the casino and we have that money, I'm not planning on bringing that money home.
Casey brought up a good deal the other day. She came across us
just today.
No, just the other day.
Every day.
We spit out the tickets, when you have a win, okay? And then you go to the next machine, you just throw the ticket in. And we've stopped doing that. We go cash them, turn them into money, and then when you have to put that money in, it's a whole different feel than just putting that ticket in. So It does kind of control you a little bit.
There's a creator that calls them happy coupons.
Yeah.
They're no longer real cash. This is my happy coupon, and I just play with my happy coupons.
Yeah, I mean, they are
forget
convenient,
that there's a connection to real value there. Same with like a table game, right? Those chips, like we forget that there's an actual currency attached to that, and so you psychologically don't cash out or whatever. But,
right.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they ever turned slot machines in so you could put your credit card right?
They're
in
getting
the
that
machine?
way. They're getting that way.
I think for the North World you can.
Yeah, you can.
That would be so spooky to me.
Well, and not a credit card, but you can tie your bank account to it and stuff. But you can set limits to it and everything. But that's another show.
That would be spooky.
That's another show.
That is I love a casino, don't get me wrong, but casinos are cash grabs, and that just feels like the easiest grab they could make, and that's scary stuff.
It is. That is scary. I agree.
There's another creator, I don't know if you know Slots to be Frank. He's another Minnesota slot guy.
No.
He was on an episode a couple weeks ago, and we talked a lot about budgeting and finance in the casino, and similarly, he obviously tells folks to play responsibly, play within your budget, and think of things as multiples. So like if, NG Slot is betting $1,000 a spin, but he's getting $10,000 jackpots, that's only 10x. That's like putting $1 in and winning $10 back. So like kind of think of what you're seeing of these larger creators, because we're normal people, they're not. They can afford to just keep throwing cash in, and they're getting the jackpot. And I love NG. I think his content's great. Great personality, but I have to remind my own self, like, oh, that's a 10x win. That's not a lot of money. So
That's right.
Exactly. I mean, you're seeing, and these big channels, awesome. I support everybody. Mm-hmm. We watch some of them too. But the one thing that I have to say is, like, when they win 3,000 or 5,000, I've just watched them spend 6,000 to get that. That's not a win. I mean, yes, get excited because you're getting some of your money back. But when I leave a machine and I've won $2.50, I am a happy girl. I am up. I just had fun playing, and I'm up $2.
Yeah, we're thrilled about it. We were in a high stakes room one night, and we watched a guy hit a pretty big jackpot, and we were congratulating him. And he said, "What do you mean? I'm still down 40,000."
So Bob's the guy that goes up to everybody at the casino and gets the backstory.
I do.
He always goes up
talk
to them.
to him.
He always goes up to them and is just like, "So how much did you have in?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, can I please hide? Seriously, hide me."
No.
And so, but he does, and he gets the backstory. And they're like, "No, I'm down 10,000. I'm down 20,000." And I'm just like, But we've talked to all these people, and we've learned that that win looks pretty spectacular, but every day, what are you putting in? And you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
And people do win. The other night we were out playing. A guy right behind us hit for $100,000. I mean, that's life-changing money.
It can be, especially like for, I don't want to call us normal people, but for normal people, that's life-changing money. That would change my life, right? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I know that we talked about some challenges of filming in the casinos and things like that. Is there a direction that you think this industry, this field that we find ourselves in, heading?
I just hope it keeps staying open. I'm worried that some of these platforms may stop us, or some of the casinos. And what I found in like the casinos, it's not so much the casino. The casino wants to promote themselves, right? But it's the people in the casino that are like, am I going to be on camera? Or they're nervous about that and they're not comfortable. So then they complain. And when they get complaints, that's a big deal. So my concern, I just hope it keeps going the direction it's going, because I think it's fun. I mean, you can see so many things online. I mean, I don't know why gambling is a bad thing. People have addictions to food.
Yeah,
drinking.
but you don't even have to have an addiction to go to the casino and have fun. I mean, you don't have to be addicted to it.
But they're wanting to not promote something that can hurt people. But
Understand.
That's the world today.
Understand.
You know?
And some of these facilities have internal politics that you'll never know about.
Yeah.
There's reasons they're doing things that are just so out there, you'll never know why.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, any marketing person, and I've been in marketing for 40 plus years, any marketing person would tell you, you can't pay for free advertising. I mean, seriously, if these folks are coming in there and they're following the protocol, establish the protocol. If they're following the protocol and they're sitting there saying, I'm playing at Foxwoods right here in Connecticut right now, every time you say that, a listener, a viewer, somebody has an impression from it. I mean, let's face it, millions of impressions turn into dollars someplace, and they paid nothing for that.
Well, and I'm sure, Shawn, you've experienced this too, but like people will reach out to you and they'll be like, I'm going to go play that machine at that casino. Which one was it? Or, we get that. Like, we're going to go to Grand Casino Hinckley on Friday, and we have a couple fans that booked a place, and they're going to come too, so they can see us and play. And they're just like, oh, you can show us where this machine is or whatever. So it's pretty cool. They're learning, they're seeing that. They're like, oh, I haven't played that machine before. I want to try it. I'm sure you get that. So it is a big promotional piece.
I get DMs all the time of, what casino was that? Where were you? And I'm always hesitant to respond because, A, I'm not making any guarantees, right? You're not going to go sit in that chair and win. But also, like, there are some creeps on the internet. I don't want you to know where I go often, right? Like,
True.
To relate briefly back to my fishing, I would pull up on a spot and catch one of these big fish that Casey's talking about. And people would ask me at sports shows when I was doing seminars, well, where did you fish? What was the spot? And I would look at them and say, the spot's irrelevant. It only worked for the time window I was there. Unless you understand all of that, it's irrelevant.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Timing is everything. You got to go back to that same machine, and the same thing is going to happen unless it's Dragon Riches. Let's be real. Dragon Riches is always...
No, we got beat once.
That machine.
we got beat once. You are not the Dragon Slayer? Okay.
No, one time we got beat pretty good because we thought we could beat it.
It happens. You're throwing out some titles of some games. That was one of my questions for you tonight is what are your go-to themes?
We love the hold and spins. Bob's new addiction, I shouldn't say addiction, your new thing is, oh my gosh, the Lightning Dollar Storm. Lightning, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
It's where you get the multiple...
Lolita.
Yes.
Lolita.
No, Chica Bonita.
Chica Bonita, Lolita.
So
I want somebody to tell me what she's saying when she speaks Spanish, and you get.
Bob, it's just like we had somebody told us when we were playing Pompeii. We were saying we thought it said mini, 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 and they said it said Vinci something something. I'm like, thank you for telling me. We've been wondering, but anyways, we really like the hold and spins. When I'm in Vegas, I love the Blazing Sevens. We like playing new slots, and we definitely always find the new slots. I'll drive 2 hours just to play a new slot machine because we really like to share it. I'm like, Bob, they got this. Let's go.
And she won't drive. I will.
Okay, true. What are some other ones? Dragon Riches. We like all the lightning dollar.
Well, you
link.
like Huff and More Puff, you know, and until the other night, I had very little interest in it, but we did okay on it. I mean, we put in what $60 and walked away
How can
with
you
$3
not
grand.
like Huff and
That was
Puff?
nice, but it is volatile, and that's something to be aware about too.
Yeah.
Is the volatility of the games that you're playing, and it's hard to establish what that volatility really
Mystery
is.
of the Lamp was a new fun one.
Mystery of
Whisker
the Lamp.
Wheels. Have you played the new Whisker Wheels?
I have not played the new Whisker Wheels.
One good thing about in Minnesota, they get the new slot machines like
Instantly.
Like I'm like it's awesome,
Yeah.
and we play them all.
I could very well have them. I just am a creature of habit and play the same 4 or 5 games over and over and over again. So,
What's your favorite?
well, I'm just gonna go back to your point for a second. Did you know that there's a Huff and Even More Puff coming out?
No.
Yes.
Did they improve the
We
payback?
heard it here first.
Yeah, no. I go to a global gaming expo every year called G2E.
Yes.
And it's in October every year at the Venetian Palazzo, and all of the big gaming industry companies come out. So IGT, Light and Wonder, G-Tech, or I forget what they're known as now, but they all come and they produce these huge expos, and you get to test out all of the games in real time. They'll load them up with credits, and you get to play them, see their features. And this past year, they started specific for slot influencers. Although I hate calling us influencers, like I don't know, I don't want to be influencing your poor decisions. I'm a content creator, that's fine. But yeah. So 2 years ago, we got to see the Buffalo Link game that goes all the way over to the other section.
We played that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you? I mean, it's the same game, but it feels so much more fun when it's that like giant and massive, and it like consumes you.
It's at they have it at Circa. It's the Buffalo, the Wild Wild Wild.
Yes.
Yeah, we did a side-by-side challenge, and I beat her.
Yeah.
Because he gambles slow. He pushes about like,
Love that.
Hey,
and I'm like,
it's not how fast you push the button, it's how you come out in the end.
But you know what? Those were skills that you developed for your slot tournament win.
yes.
Oh, she did win that. Yeah. You know, she was leading that $15,000 slot tournament right up until the last half hour. And then somebody knocked her down to third place or
Do you know
fourth
how
place.
excited I was when somebody walking through said there's this, and she said the name, and I'm like, that I think is my name. And Bob ran so fast to check out the board, and he's just, I called it a leaderboard, the scoreboard, and Bob's like, you're first still, and I'm like, no way,
Yeah,
no way.
Last half hour, it changed.
I actually did good in a slot tournament at Circa too, which got us up to a dinner up on the top level of Circa, and we had an amazing night. So I think slot tournaments is where it's at. I need to get into more.
Well, I'm not the person.
Yeah.
Right now. I'm not. I push too slow.
Well, what I did like about the one at Foxwoods was that you're not all on the same time schedule. So like,
Yeah.
you can sit there and press at your own whim, and you're writing
Right.
down credits versus like a lot of them, like you have 2 minutes and go, and like you're trying to get it, and it just is like at the end of it you're sweating and it's middle of winter and you're
Seriously, I have a video of me doing it, and actually, it's not only hitting the button, but you also have to hit the screen and swipe.
yeah,
and
the
things pop
stars
up.
or whatever the symbols.
And I'm like,
yeah.
it's almost like patting your head and rubbing your belly. You know, if you're good at that, and I am, so I was just like, I mean, I had that down, and I did pretty good.
Yeah, she did.
I
good.
am a little jealous there. I can barely walk and chew gum at the same time. So
But I think we walked by you right after she won her 2,500, and
You were getting a hand
You were on
pay.
another hand pay.
Yes, on cash pat, cash pats.
yes, I don't something bats.
Yep.
Yep.
I now love that game because I was at Foxwoods and I got 2 hand pays on 2 machines next to each other. I had a really nice $1,000 hit over on it's the new like dumpling game, the flaming pots game. I love that game. I was on a streak at Foxwoods, and then I sat down to play that stupid Cash Falls Firelink game. I hate that game. I don't know why I played it. And it just kind of destroyed me there, a couple $100, and I said, I gotta walk away. I gotta leave. This is crazy.
Cash bats though is what started off our night where we had a whole bunch of wins the other night. Cash bats we sat down at, we won 600, and that's what brought us to high limits because we had a
Oh
profit.
no, it took us over to
Cash falls.
It took us over to Bonita, and then from there we went in there. We won on both of them.
Yeah, we kept winning.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love
we were
the,
blessed that night. So
Yeah.
like you said, there was a horseshoe over the casino.
Yes.
Um, I
You're
am
such a good listener, Sean.
I listen. I work in education. I have to listen all day long,
Oh,
so
are you
it's a
taking
skill. I pick
notes?
up
Because
on
you're
random
good.
shit. No, no notes, just my questions. That's it. And then
let
the
me let me
cocktail,
That
I
he
guess.
hasn't gotten through.
let me ask you a couple of questions. What did you come away at Slotathon with? What was your
Sloticon.
Sloticon? What was your most valued impression of it?
Um, I've been like you to a lot of trade shows, and I know this is the inception event. There's a lot of growth and there were bumps and bruises along the way. I think they did a really great job of taking care of us and getting us the information we needed. And you guys gave Chris his kudos already, but Chris was very communicative and on the phone with me anytime that I had a new question, text or voice. And so from that aspect, I really enjoyed it.
Our experience there, and it was our first time there, it was pleasant. It was nice to be able to film. We didn't have any bad interactions, but we're very familiar with casinos that are really not for the filming piece of it. So we were just like kids in a candy store, like, oh, we get to do what we love, and we get to
I
go.
know I did feel like a VIP and very badass with my little name badge, you know.
Yeah.
So, and
The one they kept asking you, do you have it on? Do you have it on?
I wasn't asked or approached a single time. You guys got asked?
I
Three
think
times.
3 times, yeah.
I'm
Three
just gonna walk
times.
around with it now.
After we were talking to Chris, was one of them. Chris had just walked away, and the guy's like, "Can I check your badge?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Chris hadn't been gone for 6 seconds.
No.
He's, can I have your badge? Who was that dude who
that.
was just talking to us? I think he was your boss.
I love that. But yeah, I think Casey, you asked me what some of my favorite games are right now. I'm a Firelink connoisseur. I can sit there for hours, and what I like about Firelink is it's 4 balls or orbs versus 6. So mentally, I feel like I'm getting the bonus more frequently, and I can low roll and stay there for a very long time and build up those tier credits, and then leave with a reasonable amount without breaking the bank. So I love Firelink. That might not be everyone's experience. Disclaimer, but
disclaimer on everything said tonight.
correct. Disclaimer. Red alert.
Red alert.
And all the locket links except for cats, hats, and bats. I hate that game.
Really?
I hate
Bad
that
experience, huh?
It just there's another like drop and lock game that's similar where you have to get them on the same line, and that grinds my gears.
Okay.
Just give me the bonus. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on this episode of the Slots with Shawn podcast. Before we end, though, tell folks where they can find you online.
Go ahead, Case.
411slots.com is our website. We're 411 Slots everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Come find us. We're a lot of fun.
Yeah, just tune in and enjoy what we're doing because we have fun doing it. We play at a number that most people can reasonably play at, and we have a lot of fun.
And I want to say, when you're done,
okay,
finish first.
I want to say, Sean, thank you.
That's what I was going to say. We're both going to thank him. Sean, you're awesome. Thank you so much for having us. You have the best smile. You're like personalities.
Stop.
I know. We had so much fun.
Is it very true to life here? Is this very...
What is that?
That was my little tabletopper at Sloticon. It was my little follow Sean thing. And
I love it.
yeah. So I loved chatting with you guys. Hopefully, we were able to capture your personality. You guys are very infectious people to connect with at Sloticon, so I was really happy to make this work with y'all. And hopefully, we get to meet up soon in the future, whether it's maybe a live battle on TikTok or maybe we connect on Instagram Live or something like that. But hopefully we'll connect soon.